if we can get started here, guys. Okay. Hi everyone. I'm just going to check to make sure my audio is working. I'm going to do this at the start every time now because sometimes I'll forget. So we've quite a bit that we can look at tonight. My goodness, we have quite a bit. It's getting to the stage now where I have to choose. What are we going to look at? There's about 3 or 4 things. So let's see. I'm going to do this at the start every time now. Well, at least I know my voice is working. So welcome. Okay, so we've got a choice. I'm going to go, I haven't done anything yet, so I'm going to go look at Olivia Barrett, if you don't know, is the fiddle player that has given me permission to use her social media posts, like the tunes that she posts nearly every week, or at least every 2 or 3 days, she's posting something. To the extent there's probably loads of stuff that I haven't seen in a while, because at the moment what I'm making for you guys, and it's going to be free to the first couple of dozen people who are interested, is I'm trying to make an app at the moment. And what the app is going to do, it's going to take a while, it's going to take a couple of months at least to get this even sort of into the beta mode, is to try and use a accompaniment that I'm creating. So I'm making like trad accompaniment on the bouzouki and on the baron and on the guitar, and in every key and in every mode, and also for every dance type: jig, reel, waltz, polka, hornpipe. So students will have something to help with backing them when they're learning at different speeds as well. So it'll be like an app that you can have in the background, that you can just have the rhythm, or you can have the rhythm plus the harmony instruments, and you change the dance type and change the accompaniment speed, and just to have that in the background as, like, you know, something that you can listen to and practice to. So it's taken a while. That has meant that I've sort of fallen behind with Olivia's stuff, and I'm also starting Alan Murray's stuff, which you were looking at last week. So we're going to continue on with that. And there's the Michael McGoldrick stuff from the book that I'm learning tunes out of that as well. So there's like 4 separate things that I have going on. So the app, the accompaniment stuff, which you guys have seen a little bit about when we go into Logic Pro. The Alan Murray stuff that we're looking at for the first time last week. We'll get into that in a bit more detail this week. The Olivia Barrett stuff that we've been doing for months. And the Michael McGoldrick stuff, which has only arrived in the last couple of weeks as well. So there's quite a bit. Let's see if we could just have a look at, I'm going to check out Olivia's stuff actually first, because it's been a while. I haven't seen that in quite a while. So give me 2 seconds, guys, just while I go over to her. I think it's be her Facebook, I think. Just to see if there's any, I was going to say to see if there's any tunes that I would like to accompany, but there's always something. Okay, 2 seconds. That's not coming up. I'll just try searching. Let me see. Olivia Barrett. Okay, let's see. What's been the latest thing that I've missed? Nice. That's a great tune. There's even harmony in there. There's even harmony in that as well, my goodness. That may be a bit advanced for me. That might be a new post, but I think we might have had a go at doing that before. My goodness, there's so many. Obian, that's a nice jig. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find the name of it. Tommy Whelan's jig. Let me have a wee look see. I think I heard the Chieftains do it way back. I think it was in their album Another Country. I think way back. I have to check that out again. Let me see. Whelan's jig. Did I spelled that right? It would be in the session.org. That is it. Let's download this guy. You gotta love the session. Okay, let's see how quickly I can do this, because I just like to keep up with the latest stuff that Olivia is doing as well. So go over, guys, and check out her Facebook and also her album. And I think she's teaching, well, at least a month ago, I think she said she was taking on pupils for the summer. So if you're interested in learning fiddle online remotely as well, I think she's got students locally where she lives, but online, definitely worth checking out. What will be the best app? MuseScore. Oh, remind me some other day. I must have clicked these things 100 times. This is what I don't like. MuseScore sometimes tries to sort of write the ornaments, and you can tell it's just a mess. And I can easily tidy that up, but if you guys are wondering, that's not actually incorrect. That's the stuff that comes from the session.org when they put those little ornaments above the notes. This is how MuseScore and other apps would interpret it. So you're better not actually try and write them in. You know, you're better just, keeping it nice and simple. That really should just be that. Same thing again. Same thing again. Loves those E rolls. It's trying to get the Irish sort of lilt going. You see the way they've emphasized and staccato-ized. Not a word. They've made this note staccato, short, detached, by putting this little dot underneath it. To get that sort of that sort of. That sounds nice when it's a real instrument. It's really annoying when it's robotic, synthesized sounds that you hear from MuseScore like this. So the way to get rid of that, if you're interested, is just select everything. Click the first bar, hold shift on your keyboard, click the last bar. That selects everything. Or just Command A. Easy as well. And you see if you go over to, I think it's properties and playback. Yeah, the velocity, if you just want to make that 90 or something, it only goes up as high as I think it's 127, the same as Logic Pro and Final Cut Pro, all the DAWs. So making it 90 just to get rid of that. So everything is the same. It's not the right tempo. Crotchet equals 120. Surely it should be dotted crotchet equals 120 or something. Yeah, maybe 100. Let's see how fast 100 is. 120 actually might be good. Not 1020, 120. Gotta get rid of all of these little dots as well. A dot under the note like that means play it nice and crisp, staccato, detached. And if you see things like this, between these two notes, like a line like, oh, is that not working? Oh, wrong one. This is your slur. Play smoothly between these two notes. The one that I was trying to hit was the tie. So yeah, the tie is between the same note. If you want this to last as over the bar line, you can tie those notes. So it sounds like this. You make it sound a wee bit syncopated and off the beat. Da ba 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 da da dum. Which I'm not going to do, but it's just if you wanted that sound. Da 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 dum. Get rid of that as well, and get rid of all of these. Right click, select. Similar on this stave, it selects all of them, so I don't have to go through everything in the page. All of those little dots are now blue, and I can just hit delete. So all those notes that are highlighted blue are the notes that have just been affected by me deleting those dots. So you can see it just saves you a lot of time. Select similar on this stave. Okay, so let's just scale him back. He's a wee bit manic. 110. That's good. What key was she playing in? This is going to be interesting. Well, see the low fiddle, guys? There's no sound like it. If you can get in, I can't. That's why I like, because I can't do it. You can't really do that on whistles unless you get low whistles, and you can't do it on the uilleann pipes unless you get like a nice C or B flat chanter. You get that really sort of low dum sound. B flat actually. I'm just gonna check my audio again to make sure that's actually coming out. Let me have a nosy. Let me go to YouTube just for a second and check out my audio. I'm just gonna check my audio. Oh, maybe that was quick. Usually I'm 30 seconds behind myself. Rid of all of these. Right click, select. Yeah, doodle them. Okay, so it is actually working. Radio. Okay. Let's try and bring it down. I wonder if I'm playing that in I'd have to be playing that on a what whistle could I play that on? Could I play that on the E flat whistle? 2 secs, guys, to check this out. Let me see. E flat. Let's see. Okay. Let me just have a wee nosy here, and I'm going to bring up, as usual, my tin whistle audio. Radio. Let me just check this out just to see. The B flat one should be. Yeah, I can play in B flat with the B flat whistle, but the problem is with that. It's either too low or it's too high. So maybe E, F, G. My goodness, I'd have to think of it completely differently. Okay, so I'm playing it as if it's in. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Normally, if I was going to try and play that, it would be like this. Okay, so I've got to figure out a way of doing that, but I'll do 2 different versions of it. That's the way to do it. Okay, let's get back to the normal audio. Don't need that actually. Okay. I'm going to keep that in. Now, do I need all this? Probably not. It's the same as this, isn't it? I can get rid of all of that. Delete. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And put in a repeat mark to remind me that's the end of that section. So let's get to the bar lines and just do this one. Da-bam. Oops. And up, back up. I'm going to just keep it down there. Doodle-dum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-dum. It's easier sometimes just to delete. There we go. And just write in the correct notes. This one did different from here. In bar 9, it was da 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 dum. This over here, I want ba 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 bum. Just a little bit of. It's a small variation. Like this bar is just a wee bit more rhythmically lively than compared to this bar. That's all. So I'm gonna make that stretch across. There we go. And all of this should be the same. Yeah, I can delete all that. There we go. And put a repeat mark in there too. And put a forward repeat. There we go. And obviously add the title. Let me see. Text. Whelan's jig. Who was this attributed to? This is the thing. Somebody, I think, said it in Olivia's chat. Let me just go back to check. Always have to give credit, guys. You know, if there's somebody you know who's actually written the tune. Let me see. Olivia Barrett. What did they say? She always has people who know, like, you know, her fans know a lot about the tunes. So I always go into the chat to see, because they usually know. They create Tommy Whelan. Yeah. Okay, well then let's just put him in. Add text composer. He called it the Rookery Jig. Okay, so that's Eddie Loughlin. One of Olivia Barrett's fans said it's could also be known as the Rookery Jig. When I go back into the session, yeah, delete. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's quite a few Whelan's Frolics. All of these Frolics ones. Yeah, 11 different versions of it. It's recorded over 100 times. Okay, over 101 recordings of this. I'm just going to check to see. I think it was the Chieftains. Oh my goodness. Okay. Chieftains 4. I thought it was another country, but it wasn't. Like it was part of like a medley of things, but could be wrong. There you go. Okay, well the Chieftains definitely recorded it. That's where I heard it. Let's see. Okay, let's take it from the second part. That's right. Okay, so let's save as Whelan's. And I'm going to save this as, let me see, I think it's E. Dorian, isn't it? So that would be semitone, tone. Semitone, tone. Yeah, it's Dorian. Da da dum. So this is in E Dorian, this version. Here's me. Okay. Okay. Now let's just copy that. I'm gonna get rid. Oh, no, don't play. Move to bin. Okay, let's go on to duplicate this and put it into the key Olivia was playing in, which was B flat. B flat Dorian. Wow. Okay. Well, let's change the first one to E Dorian, just so we know the difference between these two. So this is the first one. But yeah, this is going to be in B flat. So I will make, like, you know, little Instagram and reels and shorts, YouTube shorts for this. Whelan's jig in B flat Dorian, and come up with nice accompaniment and stuff. But I just wanted to show you guys what I'm going to do. Give you a heads up. Now this is going to begin in B flat. So that'll be the first thing. Oops. I want to do that for everything. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to have to change the key signature to something with 2 flats to get rid of all those horrible accidentals. Maybe I have to add the 3 flats. Yeah. That's C sharp, it's B flat. What would that be? I put this down an octave because the moment the D flat is putting me off a wee bit. I didn't think there was a D flat in it, but again, you're always best listening to the original. Gonna listen to Olivia's one more time just to see if there's a, does she do a D flat on it, because I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Let's see. Yeah, there is. Okay. Do I need to add like a 4th flat in here? Okay. This is going to be quite a weird one. I have to figure the theory out to this in my head. Okay. The way to get around this. If I was to play this, I can't do it on a B flat whistle, which is what you'd expect, because I can't hit these. Da-dum, and there's quite a few of them. You know, these low A's. But if I were to play it in that key, I would probably end up doing... you know, da. Yeah, it's not going to sound anywhere near as good. Whereas I played it on an E flat whistle, but pretend. Okay. Right. I'll change over to the whistle thing in a second. I'm just going to have to change all of this into a more manageable key, starting on A. Now I got to change the key signature again. This is the joy of trying to play whistles. That we don't have a key for this in the whistles, you know, for something that's in B flat Dorian. Unless you're doing the B flat whistle and pretending you're in D, but then there's certain notes that we can't play. Okay, so if that was... Okay. It's going to be an absolute nightmare, but it'll be worth it. Move everything down a semitone. Da-dum. So pretend we're in A Dorian, but play it on an E flat whistle. That should get us the key that we're looking for. Okay, this is a great experiment for me. Get rid of all these G sharps, please. Oh, there's one there I missed. G sharp, no, 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 no. That's gonna be fun. Okay, well, that is possible down an octave. Yeah, it's so much easier. Like, this is a traditional way of playing it is this. You know, to play it in E Dorian. That is the original key. That's so much easier for me as a whistle player. It crashed. That's the great thing. Later. Yes, please restore. Oh, okay. Well, kind of got most of it. All the G's just need to go down. Oh, missed you again. Save. Okay, so it's not going to be in B flat Dorian. This is going to be in A Dorian. Okay, yeah. And get rid of the key into... There we go. And put this down an octave. Okay, so if I wanted to play along with Olivia's performance there, what I would need to do is follow this music, but not play on a D whistle. Okay, which is what you'd be expecting to do. You'd be playing it on an E flat whistle. So if I played this version of this tune, you can tell the differences by looking at it. So this was starting off in E. Okay, so the one on the right is the more traditional tuning, and the one on the left is the more sort of advanced individual tuning that Olivia's doing. But if you played it on, if I was just to swap over to the whistle so you guys can hear it, let me see. Here we go. Okay, so it's getting an idea of the, and you know what, I can just do it with the click there. There we go. Here we go. If I, okay, that's it. That is so weird for me. Hold on, I'll get it. That note I can't get now. It might be easy just to do a cran there. Yeah. Not sure whether or not to do like a full A roll in there. Well, it'd actually be a B flat roll, wouldn't it? Yeah. Or to do like a crotchet plus quaver. Let me just check my audio for that as well to see what that sounds like. It's the first time I've used that whistle. This will be interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, it actually works okay. Yeah, I think it actually, and this is one of the rare occasions where it's not even so much the tone, it's the fingering and the ornaments that I'm able to do. It actually works better for me in the old traditional. Usually, when I accompany along with Olivia stuff, like her tunings are sound so much nicer because she's doing them in different sort of non-traditional standard keys, which is great. And I can usually accompany that, especially on the bouzouki. But for the whistle, that particular version I think is a lot trickier because, first of all, the second half has to be an octave lower, which isn't great. Second of all, there's certain notes that you still can't get even when you do transpose it twice. You know, put it up into one tuning and then play it on a different whistle. It still doesn't do it justice. So it's one of those tunes where it just sounds better on the fiddle. There's no getting away from it, just because if you can go that low. Okay, so I will have a go at doing it in the standard. Okay, so I'm just going to keep that for us in this folder here. I'm going to call that Whelan's. And yeah, we'll come back to that. Whelan's jig. Now we have 2 versions of it. Oh, 3 versions? E. Dorian's the original. Let me just check this out. I made a mess of this already. I'll go away. No, don't need that one. E. Dorian is what we're looking for. And the other one should be in A Dorian, which if you play on a E flat whistle will sound like it's in B flat. Yeah. Okay, so there's 2 versions of that. We'll get round to that. That's number 1. Number 2 should be the bouzouki. Let's get over to let me see, we're in A level here. Get out of this for a wee sec. Yeah, I think the yellow wattle was what we were looking at last time. Yeah, it was. Okay, so I think this was the intro. If we listen to it. Yeah, so yeah, that's the one that we were looking at last time. Let's have a wee listen just to the A section to see if we can pick up any melodic ideas. Okay, 3 secs, guys. There's a lot of noise coming through. It's very, very loud. Let me see. Okay, we can get back to yeah. I'm just going to loop that a couple of times just so we can hear it a wee bit more. Why is that so loud? Okay, 2 secs, guys, to figure out why the computer audio is just 100 times louder than everything else. Okay, let's have a look at the filters. If I just go back to listen to that, just want to see what you guys are hearing. Why the computer audio is we can get okay, 3 secs, guys. Yeah, that's the one that we were looking at last time. Let's have a wee listen just to the A section to see if we can pick up any melodic ideas. Yeah, that's really loud. I think this was the intro. If we listen to it. Wow. Okay, why is that ridiculously loud, guys? Like I haven't changed anything in my audio settings, and yet that sounds like it's yeah. Okay, let's just calm that down a wee bit, shall we? And we'll get that into Vision and figure out what's going on with us. Okay. Okay, that should be a bit more manageable now, I think. I'm just going to open it in Fusion again. Okay, let's see if we can hear that, just as how loud that is. Yeah, it's slightly better, I think. Okay, let's see if we can hear that. Just radio. Let me just go in. I think it may have been this actually more than anything that was, yeah, making it a wee bit. Just gonna get rid of that little gap at the start there, guys. Just so that when we lip it, when we're listening to it, that it doesn't sound. For goodness sake. Let's try this again. Okay, there we go. Can I zoom in? It's just, yeah. There we go. Still just the tiniest little pause at the start. It's not much. It's never tried to get rid of it. Yeah. Let's see if we can just play it from the start again. Okay. Yeah. It's just, I just wanted to repeat so that, you know, we can hear it nice and smoothly. So listening to that, guys, from Alan Murray's playing, you can tell he's sort of like an expert at the technique that he's using there, which I think is using the top string, like the first course, as like an inverted pedal. You know, so you always hear that dum da 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 dum in the background, and most of his polyphonic or counterpoint or, you know, counter melodies, whatever words you want to use there to describe the little motifs that he's using around the main melody, it's all occurring on the second and third courses mostly. So he's alternating those notes of the top string quite a bit. So that's what we're gonna try and do on the bouzouki as well now. Did you hear that? No. So it's dum da dum. Let's see if we can get a little plectrum here. Dum da dum da 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 dum. That's the sort of main notes that I'm hearing. If I was to like put like make sort of study notes for this if I was like doing this for an exam or something, or if I was being examined for like London College of Music, do all these like trad exams, grade 2, 4, 6, 8, I think it is. The thing I'd be doing is putting in the notes where I'm hearing him da 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 doing the counter melody. I'm gonna try and get in tune with him. Whoops. Okay, so that little dum da 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 dum. I'm just going to, if I just go back to desktop, I'm just going to put this for you guys inside of pitch switch just to slow it down, and then we can sort of hopefully be able to hear what he's doing there. There we go. There's pitch switch open. So that da da dum. I can just drag that in here. Okay, so we'll just put that on loop. Okay, I have to get in tune with him because it's slightly different to my tuning. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the 3 ideas. Okay, let's just hear that to see is that coming out okay, level wise. So we listen. Be a bit louder. Okay, so yeah, so the main idea for this A section, this first time that we're hearing it, this is still the yellow wattle. So as I say, we're going to be going through and, you know, going through each of these pieces and really sort of, you know, taking apart exactly what Alan Murray's doing there and slowing it down, of course. So always worth going over, guys. I'll always put this in the description. Go over to the actual YouTube channel. Doug Plummer has got this up on his YouTube channel, the actual concert of him and Andrew McGill actually playing in concert together. Like, it's a hell of a great video. There's so many great tunes in it, but we're just going to be going through like this one, and we're not going to go through the whole thing. I'm just going to pick apart little ideas just to see where does the style come from, where the little ideas come out of. And we're going to be doing this with Alec Finn as well, but I guess it's going to take me forever and a day because he's doing it on I think a traditional Greek bouzouki. So it might take me all summer just to get his one done. So let's have one last little listen to this and we'll figure out what the main ideas are. Da 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 dum, bum, ba ba dum. It's the ending. I'm not too sure about just that little da 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 dum. Is it da 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 dum or ba 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 bum? Da 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 dum. Da da ba bum. So that little part there is we saw this last time. That's the part that I find quite tricky to do. That little used to be able to do that really, really well. It's just been so long since I've done that little sort of, you know, pull off thing on that string. It's actually not too bad on the other ones. Okay, so this is the A section for the first time. Nice and slow. Okay, I think that's the first idea. Dum da dum. Okay, let's go into the repeat of it. And again, I'm going to open this up in Vision just to turn it down because it is ridiculously loud. I don't know why. I think I might have accidentally messed something up. Let's a wee listen. I'm hearing a lot of the low part, and the. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's just put this into the second time around. So I think the audio's been fixed there. It's just a wee bit too loud, guys. I don't know why. Just going to put this into pitch switch and have a listen to it at 75%. Yeah, so that first A section, guys, is made up almost entirely of the same 4 ideas based around of there's about 3 or 4 lovely wee ideas all based around this. This. So. Yeah, I still need to practice that little da 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 dum. Yeah, so there's going to be lots of little ideas like that throughout this piece. Let me see if we can just play the whole thing. That's probably a wee bit loud. Oh, that's me. Let's see, can we get the original? Yeah, that recorded that really, really loud. Let me just take everything down a wee bit. It's, yeah. Yeah, it's more like it. There we go. So I think it was all those files have come out of this file, which was really, really loud. So it's that. Yeah, that's the part I need to sort of practice again. So there's quite a few wee things in that. There's a one in there that I keep forgetting, I think. Okay, something like that. Radio. Let me just have we listen to the rest of it to see was there anything else. I don't think there was. That's the second part. Money in both pockets. Okay, so let me just have we listen to the tune again. Doodle-doo-doodle-doo-dum. Yeah, I had to sharpen this quite a bit to get into that in the tune, but it's actually not in tune what it should be. Quite sharp. Might be the recording that I've made there of that. So yeah, there's nothing I can do with that. Maybe just turn everything down by a smidgen. Okay, let's have a listen to this. It's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I'm looking for either. Okay. I'm just looking for the actual full tune of it. In here. Okay, so yeah, there's quite a bit in there. With most of it seems to be based around this idea of playing. Now this is the capo on 5, so I'm just gonna chin this down, right? Because it keeps going to chin with the heat. Yeah, that's quite sharp. There we go. Okay, that's close enough, I think. Okay, let me just see if I can play along with that on the whistle. Doodle-doo-doodle-dum. Okay, so I actually have better accompaniment that I can put that to now. Yeah, so I'm going to show you guys what I'm using for this. Yeah, this is what I was talking about before about working on the music. Let me see, where is it? It should be in here. No, music accompaniment. Yeah, so there's quite a bit that I've done with the jigs already. So if this was in G, okay, let's see. Let's see if I can get my mic out of the way. Let's see. Okay, so that is the jig accompaniment in G. So that works for any tune that's in G minor, G Mixolydian, G major, G Ionian, G Dorian. Doesn't matter because I'm not using any specific chords. That you guys should be able to hear that that was just a drone. Every so often there's a couple of wee notes I've added in. Okay, so that's the accompaniment, and I'll be doing it at different speeds. That was at 120 beats per minute. So I'll obviously do stuff that's slower as well. I think I recorded that a couple of different ways. My goodness. Let's see what this one sounded like. That's just without anything added to it. That's just, you know, the dry, raw sound of it on the whistle. And there's even a video of it here. Maybe that picked up the background. No, just me? Okay. Oh yeah, I'll have to edit that a certain way. So yeah, this is the problem with recording, doing stuff live with OBS, is that there's 3 or 4 layers to this. So I'd have to go in and let me see if I can just grab that for you guys. If I go into, I'll be in movies, and it'll be this one here, portrait. If I just copy that, paste that there. Okay, so I like make wee templates that I can use. So I just drop these videos straight into them. Unfortunately, there's a lot that Apple and Windows computers don't do when you're playing files that have loads of tracks to them or loads of, channels. So it's not until you put it into a program like this. Let's see, drag that in. Yeah, you can see that the audio is very quiet there. But if I click on that, go to the audio thing here, and just, activate all of them. Yeah, you see the way, if I just make that bigger. Yeah, you can see there's one channel here that's the mic channel, which hasn't got very good audio at all. And then there's the audio from the background there. Yeah, so if I just, detach audio for a second just to see. Expand audio. Yeah. How many channels did we end up? Yeah, so there's the background. So I can delete that. Delete that. Delete that. And delete that. So that's the background of me playing. And this is the audio of me playing the tin whistle. This is the stuff that comes out of the computer, is this. But I can bring in my audio here. You see my actual tin whistle audio. Yeah, so where do I start actually playing? There. Yeah, so just go to here. Bring that to there. Does that line up? Yeah, so this is now the tricky part of doing these videos, is when you have to sort of line up one audio with the other. Okay, hold on a wee sec just to see, because I think there was actually a track. Yeah, let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, there I think is where I start playing. See right there? It's trying to pick it up from the, the computer, the mic here. Yeah, so I don't need any of this. I don't need any of this or this. Don't even need that. That, or that. They're all empty channels. There's nothing recorded in them. Now if I bring this guy in, And just cut from there. Don't need any of that. And line him up with this part. Does that line up, I wonder? Well, there's only one way to check. Yeah, I think that should be a little bit further back like that. Let's bring up the... Yeah, so you can see that so that's how I end up doing these a lot of the time for, you know, making the wee Instagram videos and stuff for you guys, is that I'll record it one, you know, playing it with me doing the actual whistle, and then the other will be, you know, record it with the video and the whistle, and then have to add the two of them together, because sometimes, you know, it doesn't line up perfectly, as you can tell. You know, so yeah, that'll be something that I'll do for you guys as well, is like make a wee video for that. I'm just going to close the library actually. Yeah, there's quite a few wee things there. Okay, so once I have that, and I can add in, I can take out the backing track and add in the stuff that Alan Murray was doing, which is based around the high first course being used as like a sort of like a drone, and the second and third course doing most of the heavy lifting. And when it comes to the counter melody, so it should hopefully sound like, let me see, I'm just going to play it again on the bouzouki so you guys can see it. Of course, I'll edit all this out and just have the finished product when it's all ready to go. So let me see, just go back to bouzouki for a second and just show you guys again, just to slow it all down. It's really those 3 or 4 ideas. Where you put them is completely up to yourself. You can mess around with them, and I would actually try to, you know, do it differently every time, so it, you know, it doesn't sound too structured. Sorry, got this cable caught in this. There we go. So let me see, if I was to, let me see, strum. There we go. He's sliding up to that. I find that easier. I've got a Caravallo bouzouki in the background, another bouzouki there that you guys see behind me where the wee light is. There. That's another bouzouki. I find it easier to play on that, to slide up. Okay, so the frets in this one are a little larger, and so it's a little bit trickier for me to do that. So remember when you're doing that slide, that you do sort of, you know, start here with a strike and then slide up as it's resonating. Yeah, it's actually better to strike that. I was hammering that on all the time, but it's actually better to hit it. Sounds clear. Yeah. That's far better. What I was doing before was using that, but that sounds better. Sometimes hammer-ons sound better, sometimes it's better to actually strike the string. So you guys decide. Here it is with the hammer on. And here it is again with the hammer on. And here it is both times struck. I think that sounds better. Oops. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna see what that sounds like just with me playing nothing but the whistle in the background. Okay, so this is me on the whistle. I'll have to wait till I start playing before I can accompany myself. Am I gonna play? Yeah, so let me see if I can add that with a boom, boom, boom in the background. The music accompaniment jig in G. Where are you? 120. Okay, so that should be the dum 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 dum. Where's up again? Again. Should have counted in. Okay, what I can do, you see, is you can end up taking that recording, and I'm just going to loop it a few wee times just to make sure that we get something we can play around with. I'm just going to open it in Fission and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so let me see if I just take out that beginning, which has nothing. This is the whistle. Okay, just before that if I just do that, get rid of that ending, and if I was to play, say, from here, just loops. Okay. Yeah, let's check to make sure it's in sync. Let's see. I'm in sync. Do you see is, yeah, let's check to make sure it's in sync. Okay, it kind of is, but yeah, there's again, the volume is all over the place. I do not know what has happened, guys. Like, I had this all, down to a T a few weeks ago. So that is a wee bit too quiet. I need to bring that out. Okay, let me see if I can just go in here, and I'm going to show you guys how I do this. So in here, yeah, there hasn't been anything added to that to turn it way down. So that should be fine. That's a replay of it. Just going to turn it up in OBS. Is that in sync? And so we listen to that live. Why can you guys only hear a titchy wee whistle there? I've got that turned up full volume in my headphones. The trouble with it is that I'm playing it as if I'm playing it way too loud. So I'm always pulling back and, you know, making stupid mistakes everywhere, thinking I'm drowning this whistle out. And I've got it turned up full blast in my headphones, but for some reason you guys aren't hearing it. So I'm definitely going to have to figure that out. So you're going to be guinea pigs, guys, for this video. I don't want to keep, you know, doing this every week, so I have to get it right some stage. The only way to do it right is to do it live. So this will be fun. Okay, so based on what I can see, yeah, if I show you guys, yeah, when I play that whistle, it should be coming out. Yeah, it's in the yellow. I wonder, do I have any filters on this thing? Let me see. Computer audio filters. No, that's my microphone. Computer audio filters. Yeah, there's even like an additional gain of 9 decibels on top of that. So it should be deafening. It should be as loud as what I'm hearing. I'm going to turn that up to 10. Okay, does that make any difference? I'm hearing. I'm going to turn that up to 10. Okay, let's hear. Okay, does that make any difference? It did. Okay. Yeah, that's jumped up a wee bit to what I'm hearing. Okay, so the gain wasn't enough. My goodness, guys. I mean, how loud does it have to be? Because I don't want to be drowning it out. I want you guys to actually hear the tune. So let's have a blast at doing it again with the actual tune in the background. So let me see if I just get back to where we were. Yeah, so we should be able to. Okay, that's the 4 parts. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. Okay, let's see, can we do that with the whistle? And finally, the first time, maybe get something that actually sounds the way I'm hearing it, not my headphones, and you guys actually get to hear a proper accompaniment for once. Okay, let's go back to the start of this thing. It'll just keep looping until we get it right anyway. Okay. So yeah, there's still quite a bit that I need to practice in there because I'm getting the order of them mixed up, but I only want to get the order correct so you guys can actually see the four parts that go together to make up this tune. In reality, you wouldn't be as strict as this. You wouldn't say, right, this is the first time I must do this, second time I must do that, third time I must do this, fourth time I must do this. In a real session, you'd just be sort of improvising all the way along there. Do first thing 3 times if you want. Really getting to get the hang of that. That's really annoying that I can't do that anymore. Yeah, it hasn't changed. It's harder. I think it's the first time I'm doing it on this bouzouki. I only have this bouzouki less than a year, but it's been so long since I was doing all these ornaments. And I was doing it all on the other wee bouzouki there, so I might have a go at trying that out in the recording to see if that's easier. It's got a much thicker neck than this guy, and the strings are sort of easier to slide from one to the other. It feels like I'm about to break the string if I do that any harder. Yeah, it should be da-da-dum. That used to be one of my favorite ornaments. I think it's just that maybe... It's okay with the third course. Notice that there's nothing that's done with that first course at all the whole way through that. It's all inverted pedal. Yeah. Okay, so at least we've finally, I think, got the levels sorted out. I'm going to do one more, and then that's it for the night, just to be sure that I've got to finally have the tin whistle. I need the tin whistle and the bouzouki to be balanced before it can go on to the B section or do anything else with the other tunes, because it's not going to work if I can't hear it. Okay, so here's one last run through with the whistle. Okay, let's see how in or out of sync we are. Yeah, it's just messing around at this stage, but it's good fun. Okay, let's see. Okay, it still sounds a wee bit messy to me. Yeah, the trick of this is, the way I'm hearing it. This is what's strange about this, is that I'm hearing it slightly different the way you guys are hearing it. I'm hearing it as me trying to pull back and not actually play too loudly. Which is kind of, kind of puts you off, when you think I'm drowning out the instrument, and then you think, I'm hearing it loudly, and you guys aren't hearing it that much at all. So, but when I listen back to it there, it actually sounds, yeah, the whistle's actually coming through quite nicely. So maybe I've just got to turn myself down. That's probably the thing, actually. Turn myself down so I can't hear myself as loud. Yes, figured it out. Okay, if I turn myself down, then, well, it doesn't matter what you guys hear, as I just won't hear myself. Yes, and then that's better. So I'll actually end up playing louder, and then the whistle is loud. That will actually even everything out. So I gotta remember that. Make a wee note. Yeah, why don't I just do that here? Actually, make a wee class note. Turn Bazooki down. Turn headphone Bazooki. Yeah, gotta be careful. Headphone Bazooki audio. I can spell. Headphone Bazooki audio down. So that won't put me off. It sounds like I'm really drowning it out. So I'm only, from my perspective, I'm only playing half as loud as I should be. But from what you guys are hearing, it sounds like, yeah, that I probably I'm not far off where I should actually be. But it just puts me off playing, and I want to be relaxed when I'm playing it, so I can actually not worry about my volume and just concentrate on getting the notes. In a session, you guys shouldn't be worried about that. Just most people just tend to lash it out because it does tend to be quite loud. Okay, so I've got to remember to turn me down. Well, at least the audio actually works. So yeah, I'm just going to save it as a loop. There we go. Okay. So I don't need him anymore. That's the jig one that I've worked on. I think I have all the jigs ready to go. So if any of you guys out there are interested in, instead of practicing with a metronome, to actually practice with, a nice sort of background accompaniment that you can turn up and down as well, and make it as loud as you like. At the moment, this is the bar on just on its own. then this is with in the key of A, so for A minor and A Dorian and all that sort of stuff, A Aeolian. So that could be something like. So that's the A one. The D one, and believe it or not, it may sound like that I'm just copying, pasting, and moving things, but I recorded all of these individually. So I can prove it. There they are. I can go into each one. So say this is the D one that we were doing. There's a few things that I probably end up turning off because there were so many bouzouki things. Like I had about 3 or 4 different bouzouki channels doing different things. I will probably end up adding guitar to some of these, to be honest. Let me see if I just do solos. Okay, so this is the. It should be coming out of one headphone. And then I just doubled it. Make it a bit louder. Then did something different coming out of the other headphones. Doubled that. And I have these little ideas coming in every so often. I'm not sure what this is, but there's like little ornaments and stuff that I put in here and there to make it a bit more interesting. What is this? Oh, okay. I just go back. That's all that was. So that is me recording one track, that's me recording another track, and then doubling those tracks, and then also me recording little ornaments, you know, every so often all the way through, like dun 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 dun. Some of them are not that interesting, they're just there to add a wee bit of colour. Like if I was just to, you know, isolate that, it would be dun 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 dun, and this one is da 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 dum ba 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 bum. That's all. Whereas when you add it in, it's just little background noise. So every single one of those is going to be a different project. I don't just, you know, copy paste stuff, you know, from one project into another. I have to re-record everything to make it sound like a real, you know, give it some life. Otherwise, if you try to like just take it and transpose it from D to A, it sometimes warps it. You know, it makes it quite unusual. So that's all the jig stuff. The real stuff I'm kind of working on. I've got the bar-on part only. So So if you wanted just to, and it's at 105, I'll be recording all of these at different tempos, of course. And it goes on for a good 12 minutes there, so you can just keep it going until you come up with something. And as I say, I will record that slower and record it even faster than that to get like up to session speed, because at the moment that's kind of just, that's my speed, that's relaxed speed, but it's not session speed. Like session speed is a wee bit crazy. It's probably maybe like 120 or something, or maybe even faster. And same with the jigs, are probably like 135 or 140, you know, depending on the session. With the audio, why is this got boron only twice? That shouldn't be boron. What's this? Yeah, that should be renamed, first of all. It's not boron only, it is everything. So I'm just going to rename that. This is in D. Just check my audio levels. I could never get this right. Sounds really loud to me again. Yeah, it is. Okay. Let's just try that again, but probably overblowing that as well. Might be at a chin, might be a wee bit sharp, but again, let's check it out. Probably overblowing that as well. Might be at a chin, might be a wee bit. Yeah, it was. Let's see. It might just be that I'm using the shush whistle. you know. But yeah, like I've got it like right up against the mic. It should be a bit louder than that, and I've turned this way down. So yeah, it's hard to get the levels right when you're doing like live like this. But if it ever gets too loud or too quiet, guys, don't be afraid just to jump in and say, turn that up, turn that down, or just stop. Stop. Let me see, is there anything else? Well, the one that I'm doing next is G. Okay, so I'm gonna have A, D, E minor, G, and there's two G's there for the other one. I'm not too fond of anymore. The light one, it's just too bright. I kind of like having, the sort of darker sort of sounds to it. I mean, if you guys were to hear, you would know, like this. I think I've deleted it actually. Dark, 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 dark. Yeah, I have. It was just too bright. So, but I'm keeping the project there just in case I ever want to reignite it for some reason. But yeah, it's very, very different to this. Okay, so this is the jig that I'm working on. No, this is the reel that I'm working on in G. So I have to re-record the guitar here at the moment. This is all, like if I was just to let you guys hear, this is just the guitar. My goodness, how many different channels do I have for the guitar? What's going on? Oh yeah, there's one thing that comes in left and the other, and then the same thing comes into the far right. And then, yeah, okay, so there's really only two. But it's like this. So it really was only like 8 bars long. It's just to make it a bit darker and give it a wee bit more depth, that's all. So if I just let you hear, again, let's take out all this stuff actually. And just do this. That's me literally just doing the wee Fender behind me. Just striking it's tuned the dot God, and I'm just literally striking the D. Yeah. What's this? What are you? Ooh, what happened there? There's something just hiding here. MIDI? What are you doing in there? Come out of there for me. What's this? Okay, so discovered something new here, guys. What's going on? Nothing's coming out. I don't know what the hell that is. If in doubt, get rid of it. Okay. Did that mess anything up? Yeah, these have to re-record all of these, take all of these out. So what I tend to do, there's nothing that I've added in that channel for audio effects. It's just dry as, it's literally just the sound of the guitar going straight in. But some of them you see, like for the bouzouki, like if I go up here, you'll see that there's EQ and reverb and chromaverb things that I've added in there for each one of these, and they're all slightly different. So I don't want to delete them. So I do copy the project over like this, and then I start deleting these things out and re-recording over them. So at least I keep the same settings as before, but I'll have to change all this audio because this needs to be in G. But if we listen, like, see the way that's still in D. Yeah, so it's not gonna. Yeah, I do need to re-record all that. So I will get through these over the coming weeks, and I'll have like reels recorded at maybe 4 different tempi. So this is like my comfortable speed, and then I'll try doing it faster, like at 135. And then slowing everything down. I'll do different rhythms for each one. The rhythm that I made there for the baron is probably best suited to the speed, and it may not be best suited like for maybe not for slow, slower speed. It might just be a wee bit too animated. There's too much going on. As you can see, guys, by the time I get to, let me see, here. Yeah. Okay, so like about 1:50 is as much as I've recorded with the bar on, and then I just looped the bar on the whole way through. Because it's, how many rhythms do you need? Like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different rhythms in there. I think that's enough. Like you don't really need to have, it doesn't need to be too flashy. The boron's just there like to really sort of keep everything together and lock it all in time. So 5 different rhythms I think is enough, because there'll be 5 different rhythms for the other tempo that I'll be doing. Like so that's, if I'm doing 4 different tempi, that's like 20 different rhythms you're going to get in the baron. So that's more than enough, and that's just for reels. I have to do all of it again for jigs and for slides and for polkas and hornpipes and all that sort of stuff. So you'll probably end up with about 30 or 40 different baron rhythms. So you don't really need any more than that, I think, anyway. For practicing, it's only really for practicing. So everybody will get the baron only for all the different speeds. I'm just going to go through everything first, just to get them all at one speed, and then I'll go back over them at a different speed. So I'll record everything at my comfortable speed. I'll be done with the reels at 105 for next week, and then I'll move on to maybe slip jigs, polkas, hornpipes, that type of stuff, and then go back over and do slower. So hopefully it'll all be ready within, I'm aiming for this to be done by like the winter. Okay, so it's going to take a while, to put all this together. And the code that I'm putting it into for an app, it looks pretty good, actually, with just the 2 or 3 rhythms that are in it at the moment. But I want to make sure that it works, perfectly, but all the different sliders and stuff. The reason why, guys, I'm going to be recording this at different rhythms as well is that you guys will be able to, when this is finished, to have like a tempo slider that you can slide it up and down to whatever speed you like. But at 105 to like 90, those will be the 2 that I'll record at for reels. And then between 90 and 105, it'll all be kind of like synthetic changes. You know what I mean? I won't be recording at every single possible speed between those 2. It'll be slowing down a file or speeding up a file depending on what's closer. So say you do 105 recording and I'm doing a 90 recording as well, and you want your tempo to be at 100. Well, 100 is closer to 105, so it'll take the 105 file and slow it down to 100. But say you want to record at 93 or practice at 93, then it'll take the 90 tempo and speed that up a little to 93. So that's what I mean, that I have to, make sure all that works before giving it to you guys. Otherwise, you'll be stuck with just the 5 tempo that I've chosen. And, and that kind of defeats the purpose of having like a metronome. You want to be able to move it up and down to whatever speed you want. So I'll be asking some of you guys to be my guinea pigs for this. I'll be giving you giving it away for free, and asking you guys, mess around with it. Tell me what you think. Give me some feedback. If you enjoy, if you like doing it, what features do you like? What features do you not like? What needs improving? That type of thing. Okay, let's get out of this. Don't save any changes because I don't know what changes I made. Okay, so a bit of a mishmash tonight, and we'll be back to regularity, back to regular programming next week. I just wanted to show you guys what's going on in the background. What's going on? What are we doing? So as I say, we'll be looking at the Alan Murray stuff. We'll be looking at the Michael McGoldrick stuff, and we'll be looking at the Olivia Barrett stuff. So there's 3 different like fiddle, whistle, and bouzouki tune. So we're getting tunes from the fiddle, tunes from the whistle book, and bouzouki accompaniment to those. So it'll sort of change depending on what you guys want as well. If there's more of you who want more bouzouki or more whistle, yeah, we'll do that. So let me know what you would prefer. And the big project in the background is this, which is growing already. Yeah, and we'll get there. Okay, so we'll leave it there for tonight, guys, and I'll see you again either tomorrow. Like and subscribe as usual. Subscribe to the channel always helps. It helps deliver some more of this content. And if you're about tomorrow night, I'll be doing the Ask Me Anything. And if not, I shall see you again next week. Okay, take care, guys.